Welcome to History Curiosities channel. In this video, I'll be discussing some of the most curious events in history. From strange coincidences to unbelievable feats, these stories will leave you amazed. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. The Rise and Fall of the Mythical Aztec Empire. Part 1. The era in which the Aztec Empire emerged was perhaps the closest thing to an earthly paradise. Any other human civilization would envy it. There was an abundance of food and no plagues. Even with all this culture is widely known for the bloody human sacrifices of thousands of individuals. Cannibalism was a ritual they practiced. They were also known for training fearsome warriors who showed great ferocity in combat. They went from being an unknown tribe of hunters to become a powerful city-state capable of conquering and maintaining control over a large part of the Mesoamerican territory. In this video we will explain their origin, culture, politics and economy, how they were built and how the last great pre-Hispanic civilization native to Mesoamerica came to an end. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to keep up to date with our updates. The consolidation of the great Aztec Empire. The years passed and the ruling states developed an intricate social, political, religious and commercial organization. With a rapidly growing economy. Early forms of currency in the empire included cocoa beans and pieces of woven cloth. Items that were of special value to the Aztecs. The successor would take power in 1440 and in addition to being considered a great warrior would be remembered as the father of the Aztec Empire. At the beginning of the 16th century Mexico ruled approximately 500 small states with a population ranging between 5 and 6 million people. The capital of the empire Tenochtitlan would reach its peak with more than 140,000 citizens. Moctezuma I instigated many reforms focused on keeping a tight grip on the conquered cities. The chiefs of uncooperative towns would be replaced by puppet rulers loyal to the Mexica. A new system of imperial tribute was established. Laws were issued that would further stop the nobles from the commoners. The death penalty was instituted for many crimes. The arrival of the conquistadors. Francisco Hernández de Córdoba would be the first European to set foot on Mexican territory. He arrived in Yucatan from the island of Cuba with 3 ships and about 100 men at his command in February 1517. Members of the local native population killed 50 Spanish explorers when they first clashed. Córdoba's reports of their failure and imminent return to Cuba would prompt the island's Spanish governor Diego Velázquez to send an even larger force. Hernan Cortes was in command of that force. Like most early European visitors to the New World, Cortes was strongly motivated by the desire to find riches. In February 1519, he set sail from Cuba with 11 ships, about 450 armed soldiers and a good amount of supplies, including 16 horses. Arriving in Yucatan, the Spaniards quickly take control of the town of Tabasco and here they begin to learn about the Aztec civilization ruled at that time by Montezuma II. Challenging the authority of Governor Velázquez, Cortes decided to found the city of Veracruz directly east of the basin. There he trained his militia into a disciplined fighting force. He assembled an entourage of 400 men, including several captive members of the native population. In particular a woman known as Marlene Che, who was to be his translator and later became one of his mistresses. Now prepared, the conquistador began his famous march into the interior of Mexico, but not before making an important alliance with the Tlaxcalans. Thanks to the growing instability within the Aztec Empire, Cortes was able to easily form alliances with several native peoples formerly vassals of the empire. In November 1519, Cortes and his men arrived in Tenochtitlan where Moctezuma and his people received them as honored guests. It is popularly believed that this was due to Cortes' physical resemblance to the god Quetzalcoatl. This fact allowed Moctezuma to accept the visit of Cortes and his men. However, there is no proof of this. In fact, the Aztecs did not believe in messiahs or envoys of the gods. So it is most likely that the Aztec emperor considered the Spaniards as mortal as anyone else. Neither Cortes nor any of the men who accompanied him made any such statement in any historical text. So the Aztecs probably considered the Spaniards to be strange invaders, but of flesh and blood. The fall of the empire. Although the Aztecs had far superior numbers, their weapons were archaic. Therefore, Cortes was easily able to take hostage both the emperor and the retinue of nobles who accompanied him. He thus gained control of Tenochtitlan and turned Montezuma into a puppet emperor. Cortes would be absent and leave the command to Pedro Alvarado. The Spaniards massacred the hundreds of unarmed Aztec nobles they were holding hostage during a ritual dance ceremony as premeditation for a possible plot. That infamous act would go down in history as the massacre of the main temple. When Cortes returned to the city, the citizens of Tenochtitlan wanted to kill the Spaniards as revenge for the massacre. Moctezuma ended up dying under uncertain circumstances, while still in the custody of the Spaniards. According to the myth, it is said that Cortes forced the emperor to show his face in an attempt to appease his people, but the mob ended up killing him with a sling. Another version of the myth tells that it was Cortes himself who slit his throat when he realized that Moctezuma was no longer useful to him. When Moctezuma too died, the priests named his brother as their new emperor and war chief. He wasted no time in deploying activity to enlist troops. He tried to seek alliances with some towns near the lake and with the Tarascans. However, they refused. When he tried to defeat the Spanish conquerors, he died a victim of smallpox. It was the young nephew of Moctezuma II who would assume the position of the new emperor. European diseases such as smallpox, mumps and measles became powerful weapons against the local population. They lacked immunity. By the end of 1520, smallpox had reduced the population of Tenochtitlan by 40%. The Aztecs succeeded in driving the Spaniards out of the city on the night of June 30th. On June 1, 1520, this event would be known as the Sad Night. Many Spaniards would drown under the weight of their armor and the gold and silver treasures they were carrying. All the horses died, artillery was lost, and approximately 90% of the fortune Crotes and his men had collected from the city was lost in the lake. On August 13, 1521, the Spanish conquest of Tenochtitlan was finally defeated and completed. All after a bloody series of conflicts involving Tlaxcalan Aztecs and other natives allied with the Spanish. Not to mention a Spanish force, sent by Governor Velázquez to contain Cortes, this victory would mark the fall of the mighty Aztec Empire. It is believed that some 240,000 people died in the siege of the imperial city. Cortes almost completely razed Tenochtitlan to the ground, and then built Mexico City on the ruins. Mexico City would become the main European center of the New World. The Aztec Empire was one of the most powerful Mesoamerican civilizations that ever existed. However, its decline was imminent. Its insatiable hunger for conflict and its abusive tribute system caused great resentment with its vassals. All this was reason enough for the empire to fall of its own weight. However, the ruins of the majesty of their culture and their last living descendants are proof that the Aztec legacy lives on. We hope you found this video useful. If you have anything to add, please share it with us in the comments section. Like this video and send the link to your family and best friends so they can also learn more about the rise and fall of the mythical Aztec Empire. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, make sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We'll be back soon with more curiosities from history.